this is Marina from Dance Star Astrology, bringing you the new moon in April the 11th. And really, we are in the astrological new year. So here we go. Aries is going to be at 22 degrees of Aries, Decan 3, which is bounty hunters and black gold. It will fall in the second lunar mansion, which is called the belly of Aries. The new moon will be on the fixed star Akamar in Eridanus, which is the river. Now, it's going to be conjunct Ceres and Eris, so it's a real warrior queen of a moon, this one. Not only that we also get Venus square Pluto, which is another kind of warrior queen, Persephone, queen of the underworld vibe for this one. The tarot card is the Four of Wands, which is reunions and returning home. And the healing crystal will be the coral, which isn't really a crystal, but it's a gem. It's a gem. So what does the new moon in Aries Decan 3 mean? Well, here it does not have any dignity, and usually the watery emotional moon is quite uncomfortable and even quite vulnerable in Aries. However, this Jupiter-Venus ruled decan has a certain watery vibe in it due to the seafaring stars that are found here. And I believe that emotions channeled in the right way here can still make us successful despite the problems of some of the more difficult stars here. The moon can ebb and flow through this decan's rough seas, and the moon feels quite at home here since the dark lunacy of this decan is something that the imagination can really thrive in. And that really goes also with the dark lunacy is very Persephone as well. So it's really important that we have some creative outlet with which to unleash our passions at this time. Again, like the sun in Aries Decan 3, we will really need to perform our ever-changing moods to an audience. Our dancing emotions are very often quite entertaining here, even if it's just a rant to a friend about how dreadful the service was in the local shop. Aries Decan 3's personal spin on the event makes our experience an adventurous quest rather than a mundane moan about some inferior fruit and veg. So at this new moon, the minutiae of everyday life is or has the potential for high drama, a bit like a Mike Leigh film. If you haven't heard of Mike Leigh, he does very I don't know how to describe it really. They're a little dark. There's a film called Happy Go Lucky, which I really liked, which was this girl who was very sort of, Pollyanna, sort of everything's lovely, and she was having driving lessons with this really weird guy who was a conspiracy type theorist. So he was the conspiracy theorist. It used to make me laugh because I thought, oh my God, that's me. It's kind of like both sides of us, really. It's the paranoia. If you're anything like me, living in this world, and if you're a bit of a Gemini, then you'll like that film. Anyway, enough of that. So this time on my website, I have the links for what this new moon will mean for each sign, but I won't go through them here because I just want to make this kind of quick. But the link will be in the description. So now let's look at the lunar mansion, the lunar mansion, the little belly. So this is located in the tail of constellation Aries, and the indicator star is Botane. Ptolemy says that the stars in the tail of this, did I say belly? It's weird. Why is it called the little belly when it's located in the tail? Anyway, he says that the stars in the tail have the nature of Mercury with some Saturn effects, and the keywords for this lunar mansion are sovereignty, omnipotence, oversoul, serene patriarch, peace and reconciliation. It's good for relationships, asking favours from authority figures, resolving conflicts, and requesting a raise or promotion. So that's kind of interesting that it's a serene patriarch when I've also got this kind of very warrior queen imagery. So I think that's kind of the Persephone Pluto marriage, really, because she, in the end, because he was such a patriarch and so dominating and wanting to imprison her, she became super strong. So, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger type thing. Anyway, so Christopher Warnock says of this mansion that it suggests reconciliation after conflict, and we must heed the volatile nature of the situation and approach with tactful deference the person or people concerned. We are not in a position to issue commands or to act imperiously. Never heard of that word. Imperiously. Yet passivity too is ill-advised. Rather, we must humble ourselves and actively seek to resolve the situation. So I think this mansion seems to promise peace, but it's not as simple as that, really. The mercurial nature of the mansion means that the tide can turn at any moment, just like the decan suggests, and you'll need to keep the boss happy and be respectful when asking for favours. The same goes for relationships with those older than you. There's still the potential for histrionics in Aries decan 3. So the colour associated with this mansion as well is scarlet, which fits very well with this Aries new moon. So if you wanted to make a talisman for this moon, it would be a crowned king, and the properties would be removal of anger, supplication, reunification, finding treasures and underground resources. Also destroying buildings and causing strife in relationships. So it's a bit of an odd one. So the Picatrix is instructions here. And as I always say, for entertainment purposes only. The talisman of Al-Bhutan is for the removal of anger. When the moon has come round to this mansion, take white wax and mastic and melt them together over a fire. Then remove this from the fire and make the form of a crowned king. So fumigate the talisman with lingam aloes and say, "You, Enidil, drive this anger from me and let me be reconciled and let my petition be satisfactory. Keep this image with you and it shall be done." So there are instructions on the website, on the link below again, how to make one in more detail. I just won't go through it here because it's a bit too detailed. But all right, here are my instructions for it. But I don't know if I'm going to do these anymore because I don't know. I mean, it's just a guideline. It's just a guideline. Because I don't like specific instructions. I think people should do their own rituals. But this is just an example, I guess. So yeah, get hold of a coral cabochon. That's a crystal with a flat back. Roll up the image like a scroll, flatten it and seal it by gluing the coral onto the fold. Drip white wax and a Mars essential oil around it like a frame. So Mars oils are spicy like black pepper or ginger. I think clove oil might be less aggressive and better suited to reconciliation with this moon. Inscribe into the wax the glyph for Mercury, which is the ruler of this mansion, and you can substitute the coral with a printout of it. However, it's supposed to be the more durable materials will get you more potent effects. And members will have access to my election chart for timing the inscription of your talisman. So the coral, why did I choose the coral? Because it will give you the endurance to keep your promises and to come through for your significant other when they need you. Also, it's associated with the sign of Aries and its ruler Mars. And although coral is a red colour, its fleshy, peachy undertones are still soothing. And it's a great balance of invigorating, warming heat combined with the protection of its red, fiery hue. So crystalsandjewellery.com say, coral will inspire you to conquer your fears and be bolder in your choices. It will not do you good to be so safe or scared all the time. Life is simply not meant to be lived that way. Yes, especially in these current times. This stone will restore the harmony in your heart. It will quiet your emotions and remove the fear and tension that you're feeling. It will also clear your judgment, resentment, and frustrations at being told what to do. God, yes. by the government, with all their rules and all the hoops you have to jump through at the moment. Coral is a very effective stone in getting rid of compulsiveness and quitting bad addictions. Again, that's a very sort of Persephone, Pluto energy as well. Also, another interesting thing about coral is that it replaces misfortune and disappointment with optimism, and it becomes pale if you're stressed out or are affected by spiteful or negative people. And the ancient Greeks believed coral was formed from the severed head of Medusa as well. So it was given as a protective amulet against exploitation and manipulative people. And coral teething rings were given to babies in many cultures to protect them against harm. So yeah, it's very protective then. I think it gives you bravery and courage too. So let's plug into this Aries conquering energy then for this new moon. And it's the start of spring, so happy. I'm recording this on Good Friday when Jesus resurrected. So hopefully we'll all be resurrecting as well. So take care. Thanks for listening. Do become a member. Links below for part 2, where I'm going to make these part 2s actually very long, much longer as well. And I'm going to put all my kind of rants into one thing as well. I think I'd rather make longer broadcasts and really get into things deeply rather than doing shorter things. And also, I don't think I'm going to do the mystery charts. Maybe I'll do them occasionally, but they're not actually getting that very many views. I think just because people don't know what they're about, and I can't reveal what they're about. Anyway, take care, and I'll see you next time. All the best. Bye.